Kite is one of the characters who, indirectly, has had the most influence on the history of Hunter x Hunter. He is a cold and very rational man to solve complicated problems. His first appearance consisted of saving Gon by killing an animal that was attacking him. However, later we saw that Kite is dedicated to the study and conservation of wildlife, so killing that animal was definitely something hard for him. Even so, his ability to aim to be objective and make difficult decisions allowed him to save Gon. Kite does not hesitate to punish Gon for his actions, for making him kill that beast. Thanks to his recklessness, he can be firm and strict when needed, but he is also understanding and caring. He explains to Gon where his mistake was and tries to help him improve. He has an honest interest in the safety of both humans and other living things, and tries to ensure that there is as little conflict as possible between these organisms. Although he does not celebrate it, enjoy it, or pursue it, Kite understands the inevitability of death and violence. He understands the place of these concepts in nature. He also understands the importance of studying and caring for the life of the planet, but he does so without falling into childish idealism or activism. He tried to pass this understanding on to Gon from that first meeting. Gon's irresponsibility in wanting to help those wild beasts without having the necessary knowledge and care, created that situation where it was necessary to kill one of those animals, leaving her offspring alone. This harsh beginning of the manga already warned us of what we would see later on, of the danger of doing harm despite having good intentions, of the reality that life does not consist of good versus bad things, but of a combination of both, a combination of crime and justice, of nature and society, that even doing the morally right thing can have bad results, and that a hunter must be capable enough to deal with these contradictions. Kite introduced us to an advanced and mature hunter who would become Gon's role model. Throughout the story we are told many times that Gon must attain the strength, experience and intelligence necessary to find Jing, and that this task is extremely difficult. Beyond what Gon did or did not achieve, we know that Kite was someone who passed this test. This character can be considered as a first-class hunter thanks to having the approval of Jing freaks, and this tells us about the enormous conviction and talent in different areas that Kite has achieved. Even Hisoka, a character with tremendous talent, recognized the difficulty of finding Jing and tried to use the elections of the new president to find him, taking advantage of the fact that all the Zodiacs were supposed to meet in that city. Even so, his effort was in vain. In addition to having found Jing, Kite's skills are recognized by other characters, such as Killua during the Chimera Ant arc, who recognizes the great ability of this hunter and immediately knows that he is someone he can learn from when it comes to a professional research and combat mission. Kite's intellect is also something to consider. Although he doesn't seem to be among the most intelligent characters in the story, Kite is a scientist, specifically a biologist, who conducts research for private organizations or government institutions. We saw that his work and that of his colleagues is recognized and awarded by governmental entities in different countries. Kite is also able to make fairly accurate predictions using his biological knowledge to understand that chimera ants would make entire villages disappear once they start attacking humans. I would say that, so far, he is the best example we have of a scientific hunter in action. He also demonstrated excellent leadership skills. He managed the different talents of his colleagues very well and had the respect of the entire team. He knew when to delegate work in areas in which he was not an expert and knew how to take advantage of Gon and Killua's talents, even though they were relatively inexperienced in the work of a biologist. He quickly became Gon and Killua's teacher and helped him advance during that first part of the Chimera Ant. His connection with them was quite strong and engendered a firm respect from both of them for their new teacher, especially Gon, who also saw him as a father figure when he met him in his early childhood. It must be understood that much of the inspiration Gon felt for Jing was actually created and exemplified by Kite, who had inherited it from Jing himself. Although often only Jing is spoken of as Gon's inspiration, in reality Kite developed such a formidable hunting spirit that it was he who inspired Gon in the first place. And at the same time he was able to recognize all the influence and improvement he achieved thanks to Jing. The way he talks about this legendary hunter is full of respect and gratitude. That he took on the role of master of Gon and Killua is something of special attention. Gon and Killua had so much potential that their first master, Wing, quickly felt overwhelmed by the learning speed of his pupils, but Kite always maintained a marked superiority over them. That is to say, his skills and experience were so vast, that even Killua and Gon felt difficulty in keeping pace with Kite. Kite took his role as a teacher with care, reflected on the dangers that were appropriate for his students and maintained honest communication to make them understand that investigating chimera ants could be so dangerous that he might not be able to help them in certain situations. Kite proved to be pragmatic and realistic with this, but at the end of the day, he also opted for acts of kindness, and in the hour of greatest danger, he decided to sacrifice his life to save his pupils. Although he did not seek to die, he did prove capable of maintaining his rationality and calm mind even in the face of Neferpitou and almost certain death. Remembering what Neferpito's aura could do to experienced hunters like November and how it crushed their spirits, it is impressive how clearly Kite was able to maintain his clarity when encountering this enemy without any warning that such powerful creatures existed. Kite also seems to have developed or inherited some of that spirit from Jing, who has a pure interest in improving and helping in his areas of research. It was explained to us that Jing was able to pay for archaeological explorations with his own money without the need to seek any personal financial gain, but simply to carry out that work of preservation and understanding the cultures of the past. This ability to put aside issues such as money, official achievements and academic recognition, and focus solely on science and learning, has made Jing an inspiration for many hunters, as Satats recognized in the hunter exam arc, and likewise, Kite shows this ability when we were told that he bought with his own money the lands that were being destroyed, with the sole purpose of preserving the natural habitat of the birds of that territory and let them live in peace. The end of the arc showed us a Kite aware of his mistakes and willing to acknowledge that he lacked the strength to survive in the face of Neferpito. We do not know what would have happened if Kite had fought alone against Neferpito without having to protect his pupils. Even so, Kite takes responsibility for his actions and at no time blames Gon for what happened. Curiously, other Chimera ants decide to go before Kite and ask his forgiveness for the sins they committed. Here we saw again the ease that this character has to become a leader, and inspire others to treat him as such without the need to force them. This ending we saw of the arc, with Kite becoming a Chimera ant, opens up interesting possibilities for his future. I honestly don't think we'll see too much of Kite's involvement in the story again, but if Togashi wanted to, he now has a top-notch hunter with the extremely talented body of a Chimera ant, and this could create interesting plots. What do you think about this character? Leave me your opinion in the comments, and thank you for watching this video.